Hey, what's up, cheaters? We're back with the Cheat Day Show. We're living your cheat day. Each week, we meet comedians, athletes, models, authors, and all-around interesting people, discuss their eating habits and their cheating habits. Then our professional celebrity chef will make them their ultimate cheat meal on steroids. And you guys get to hear it all, and you get the recipe as well. I'm comedian Ryan Reiss, and joining us today, we have hashtag not your typical chef, Brian Tsao, everybody.
What's up? What's up?
And Brian was on season 1 of Beat Bobby Flay, and he beat him.
Yeah. And not only beat him, I am the only one on season 1 to beat him.
Beat him.
That's right.
Wow.
He read the title and he's like, I'm just going to do that.
I'm just going to do it.
I'm just going to do that.
Come in with a baseball bat and beat him over his head.
Our entertainer today, tremendous actor, comedian, performer. You know him from Comedy Central. You know him from the David Letterman Show. Numerous appearances on The Tonight Show. Also the first guy to get the standing ovation on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Comedian Pete Lee, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here. It's a very Asian show today. Pete Lee and Brian Tsao.
Hey, Tsao.
Brian Tsao.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to Bobby Flay's restaurant in Vegas and be like, do you just want me to cook this? Because it'll be better.
I should totally do that. Shortly after I beat him on the show, I wasn't allowed to say anything until the episode came out, maybe 6 months later. But in between that time, he did open up a restaurant called Gato, and it's still there. It's a very successful restaurant, very good restaurant, at least when I went. Mm-hmm. And my wife and I went there. It was shortly after I had done the show, Beat Bobby Flay. It hadn't aired yet. And I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I was much younger at the time, but I went there hoping to see him, and I wanted to thank him. Thank you for the opportunity. And obviously everyone's like, no, he's not here. But you can write a note, and I'll pass it along to him. I mean, total bullshit, but whatever. And I wrote a note, never heard back. So Bobby, I did write a message to you thanking you, but you heartless bastard, you never called me back.
Okay, so I guess Bobby's not going to be on the show. Thanks for burying that lead. We appreciate it.
I feel like Bobby's hurt. You beat him so badly that his ego, he can't take this. He can't take the defeat.
So not only did I beat him, but I beat him at his wheelhouse of, he's known for Southwest, Tex-Mex. He's very well known for tacos. He's been making a living selling tacos. He has a cat named Taco. So I challenged him to a taco face-off.
You got to.
Got it. I mean, yeah, he's probably pretty butthurt. I don't know. What can I say?
Yeah.
Just real quick, I just want to, we got Lance also joining us. Lance Weiss, comedian, engineer, producer extraordinaire. Just want to make sure we know that he's on mic with us today.
Hello, yes, I'm here. I'm still waiting to meet the models that Ryan says every week in the intro.
It's
haven't met a model yet.
There's been offers extended.
There's a complete comedians are complete opposite of models.
I feel like the model part is just like some girl that Ryan is going to be like, I don't want to leave her in my house because she might steal. And then he's going to bring her in here.
This sounds like Pete knows me too well.
Yeah.
It's getting a little personal there, Pete. So there's two things that we just like to start off on the top. Did anyone have any cool cheat meals or indulgent meals this week? Now, me and Brian shared one, but Pete, did you do anything crazy?
Oh gosh. Here's what I did. I actually tweeted about it. I was in Vegas, not last night, but the night before, and I ate. I've been eating like really clean, really healthy because I was up to 230 pounds, and now I'm down to 208, and I'm just trying to get back to 200. And I did this corporate, and they were like, we're going to bring you a meal, and our chef is just preparing it. So the chef just brings me chicken parmesan with lasagna and pasta, and I was like,
that sounds good.
It was so great, and that's all I had been craving. And a part of me was thinking about being like a little bitch and being like, actually, do you have any veggies? And could I have a lean chicken breast? And I was like, a split second, I was like, no, you pussy, eat it. And I just ate the whole thing. I ate it like Cookie Monster style. Like I was like throwing the food into my face and catching it with my mouth. It was so delicious. And that was my cheat meal. And that actually...
Before or after you performed?
Before I performed.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, before I performed, and then also I've been limiting my sugars, and they just brought me a Dr. Pepper because they know that I like Dr. Pepper. I've done this corporate a bunch of times, and so I sucked down the whole Dr. Pepper. So I was so like was so like sugared up and carbed up, and I actually felt great. I didn't feel that drag of the meal. I didn't feel like. Brr. I was like, you guys, all right, Vegas.
Maybe that's got to be the new ritual before every
the poor audience is like, this guy's coked up. And they're like, nope, chicken parm.
It's just the breading from the chicken
Did
parm.
he snort the spaghetti?
Yeah. I felt so good. And lately, my girlfriend Jamie is a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And I've been like, babe, I think I've been feeling depressed lately. I don't know. And it just turns out that that's how I feel with zero blood sugar for weeks on end. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have sugar. You want to kill yourself.
You want to kill yourself.
It makes sense.
It's terrible.
Are you depressed or do you need a cookie?
I think I needed a cookie. And my therapist is like, you're eating that way or you're eating cookies, you're eating all this stuff because you don't love yourself. And I'm like, no, I think sugar is the best way to love yourself.
Yeah. Lance, you do anything, buddy?
I had a show in the North Fork of Long Island, and there was I was talking to Brian about this. It's James Beard, chef. James Beard. We had a lobster with some kind of fish around it. Might have been flounder.
Okay.
It was amazing. Yeah, and they had some sweet. It was like a 5-course whole thing, but that's all I got. I never really had 2 seafoods. I don't think packed in like that together.
That's the most Long Island description of a meal. We had some lobster with some, fish around it.
Yeah,
It was delicious.
it was great. Yeah, there's this place called Eric's in the Southold in Southold, Long Island. It's very good.
Nice.
Nice. I got super lucky, man. So Brian came and hung out on the Comedy Cellar on Sunday night, which is kind of like my cheat day. Mm-hmm. And we had a drink or two, and he's like, I'm hungry, man.
A drink
or two. Yeah, I love that.
Come on.
Not at all.
A drink or two.
Oh, boy.
That was just the shots.
Yeah. Okay, so we had a bottle or two.
Yeah.
And it was like 2 a.m., and he's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, cool, let's go to Chinatown. I was like, whoa, hop. And he's like, you amateur. He's like, I'm take you out. And like, honestly, I don't think I've been that turned on in a while. I was like, this guy's he's like, I'm going to show you things you've never seen. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. So where'd you take me, bud?
So we went to the great noodle town of New York. And, even by saying that.
That's what it's called?
That's what it's called. Great noodle town of New York. Like, they made no qualms about it. Like, we are great. We are New York's greatest. And even by saying that, I know my fellow Asians out there are going to be like, why the hell are you taking him there? But listen, don't hate. It's a legendary place. It's freaking awesome. It's right on the corner of Bowery, right off of the Manhattan Bridge. It's been there forever. And funny thing is, one of my former sous chefs, his parents own that restaurant.
Oh.
I mean, just totally by coincidence.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean dick shit for me because I still get charged. Like, they're like, I don't know you. You still pay cash. So we went over there, and I basically ordered what I would order if I went there any day. So I
let him drive.
Yeah.
I didn't say, actually, I was like, can I get beef and broccoli? He's like, no. I was like, damn it.
So we got beef chow fun. Chow fun is those thick rice noodles.
Yeah.
We got roast pork. We got spare ribs. We got soy sauce chicken, which we will get to later because him and I, that was a point of discussion all night.
Well, yeah, we'll cover it.
What else we got? What did we not get?
We got the eggplant.
Got the eggplant and garlic sauce.
We got the salt and pepper shrimp.
Salt and pepper shrimp and salt and pepper pork chops.
Yeah, we really, I got a photo of it. I'll put it online.
We really packed it. And
it was definitely a photo of 2 guys that were not going home with women. Just like, no women, bring all the food.
I'm like, this is like, you know what, like 50 Shades of Grey is to housewives for turn-ons?
Yeah.
This is my food turn-on. Like, I just want to take off my shirt and rub oil all over my tits that are still tits because I haven't lost the 8 pounds yet. Wow, this is like food porn.
Yeah. So I got yelled at because I learned something by getting yelled at. So the chicken was bloody, like red blood, and that freaked me out because I was like, I don't want salmonella. Mm-hmm. And Brian explained to me.
So the inside of the bone, the marrow part, was red. Okay. Now to kill salmonella, you have to reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That'll kill off salmonella, right? And now, if you just hit that point, the meat will actually. People are gonna freaking tear me apart. But everyone knows this is true. The other chefs know it's true, but you'll never admit it in public. But anyway, if you just hit that 165 degree mark, you will kill salmonella. But the flesh will be slightly pink.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
ever so slightly. But just to be safe, people cook, like basically nuke poultry in fear of getting salmonella.
So you're getting dry poultry every single time because everybody's afraid of this thing
Right.
that isn't actually completely real in that sense.
Right.
Okay.
So a lot of times the way soy sauce chicken is made, it's poached. Means it's submerged in a flavorful liquid. It's left there to cook, low and slow. Stays nice and juicy and tender, and they basically let it just get to that 165 degree mark. They don't overcook it, because if you overcook it, you're going to have dry ass chicken. Who wants dry ass chicken? No one wants dry ass chicken.
Nobody wants
No
dry
one
ass
wants
chicken.
dry ass chicken.
But sorry, freaks out the gringos. You know what I mean? Every
That freaks out me. It freaked me out. I was concerned. I
have a question about it, preparation-wise. Is that chicken 165, you said?
Yeah, you have to bring it to an internal temperature.
Or is it
of
all
160.
meats that kill salmonella? Is that
No,
temperature?
salmonella is inherent to poultry.
Okay.
Most specifically chicken.
Okay.
So, for the longest time, they would always say, cook your pork well done, right? Well, that's because back in the day, you would have an issue with parasites in pork, right? Because what did they feed pigs back then? They fed them slop, literal slop. It was just all the leftovers, and they would feed the pigs that. Well, what gets into slop? Flies, bugs, insects,
Everything,
right?
yeah.
And then that's how the parasites get introduced into the flesh of pigs. The only way you're going to kill the parasites is by cooking the flesh to 165 degrees. I mean, nothing's going to survive, 165 degrees, parasites, whatever, foodborne illnesses. I mean, I could go on and on about this forever.
No, please, please, parasites, please. Very.
So anyway, pork, especially the way it's raised now and the way that they manufacture pork now, you can't eat it pink. You can't eat it, it doesn't have to be nuked to death anymore.
I mean, I think we should go get some chicken and pork sushi.
This sounds like a challenge. Yeah, it sounds like a challenge.
We should.
So now the Cheat Day Show, we have Pete here, and we have his cheat meal in front of us. Now, Brian, you have to explain to me what you made, why you made it, and what's going on.
Okay, before I start explaining this, Pete, tell us, on your cheat day, what are some of your favorite items?
My favorite thing, especially since I haven't been eating very many breads, and because I learned that a lot of bread has like processed sugars in it, where like they're folding bread and salt into the bread to make it. I forget what it's called.
Delicious.
Delicious. Yeah. There's something called the bliss zone that I read about, where it's a zone where you can put enough sugar and salt into it and it tastes delicious, but it doesn't start to taste weird. It makes it like crack, and so. I love bread. Like I'm like Oprah. I love bread, and so on my cheat day, I'll have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but I make it with like deli amounts of peanut butter and jelly, and then I dip it into milk, and then I eat it like you'd do a donut and coffee. And I've only met one other person in my life that is like, that's what I do, and that's delicious.
Your girlfriend.
She actually will do that. Yeah. So that was the bond that's keeping us together.
Oh boy, if you can share a meal, that's it.
In hard
going
times,
all the way.
Yeah. In hard
PB&Js.
times.
So you also mentioned about chocolate and pizza.
Yeah.
So I decided to push myself a little and put all these things together. So this is a peanut butter and jelly flatbread. So the flatbread has been coated with butter, a dusting of sugar, a tiny bit of salt. I toast it golden brown, and I give it a coating of Nutella, and then a drizzle of Concord grape jam, condensed milk, peanut butter, and some fresh ground toasted peanuts.
You put condensed milk in there too for
That's
the milk.
right.
Wow.
That's right.
So this is like a PB&J flatbread with chocolate with like a Tres Leches feel. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's like a West Village peanut butter and jelly. Like it'd be very expensive. It'd be very,
It'd be
this is like
$22.
$45 brunch someplace in the village, and they're like, it's for the kids though.
Would you categorize it as a lunch meal or a dessert item?
I think it could be like a brunch bite, like an appetizer, and or a dessert item.
Yeah, because it looks very dessertish.
Yeah, definitely very dessertish. But depends what kind of person you are at brunch. Do you want eggs or do you want sweet stuff? So
Well, it's your cheat day. Get in there, buddy. You've been staring at this thing. Come on, let me know.
Yeah, I'm. Oh god.
It looks awesome. Pete's getting close to give you guys crunch sounds of the.
I'm giving you some ASMR. Wow.
We're gonna add those in post, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you need just a hot take of the crunches?
Could you give us a big gulp?
Gulp? Oh wait, I just said it. This is amazing.
Thanks, man.
Holy crap.
What does it taste like? What are you tasting?
Okay. The first thing I tasted was just pure peanut butter and jelly. I really do taste the condensed milk in there. The chocolate's an added flair. I never would add the chocolate to my PB&J, but of course,
Now you're gonna.
yeah, of course, a Reese's Pieces peanut butter and jelly sandwich would taste amazing. The texture of it was so cool. How it was like somehow moist and crunchy. You know, almost like how a Krispy Kreme donut has that like crunch to the outside,
Right,
and then
right.
it's amazing in the inside. Just so cool. I like that you even have some greens on there.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, I put a
the
little.
salad.
I put. It's
Can I eat more?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yours.
go
It's
for it.
yours.
Go
They're all
thing.
yours.
I put in a little bit of chiffonade mint. Yeah, fancy word of saying chopped up mint.
All right.
Yeah.
What was it? Shift 2?
Chiffonade.
Chiffonade.
So it's when you slice something extremely thin.
Now, would you add because I heard people like to add like bacon to peanut butter and jelly? Would you add bacon to something like this?
You know, because this is Pete's cheat day, I decided to stick more along his criteria. For
Oh, I'm
me,
just curious. Yeah, yeah.
I know, but for me, I would add bacon to anything.
To anything.
To anything.
To anything.
really.
Bacon
Yeah,
or turkey
absolutely.
bacon?
Fuck turkey bacon.
Oh, I love
Who
turkey
would-
bacon.
Oh, well, then fuck you, too.
You're off the show.
I love turkey bacon.
Now, Pete, we were talking about your relationship with food. Now, you had said that you felt like you put on some weight and you were changing your diet because normally you used to compensate, like you would just exercise and that would take the weight off. Now, I have the benefit of knowing you a long time. Mm-hmm. Okay, so most people don't know this about you.
Guess we have different definitions of benefits.
So happy your mic's working. You were an Olympic athlete.
I was not an Olympic athlete, but I did. I was an elite. I was an elite triathlete at the Olympic distance.
Whoa.
Uh-huh.
That's
He
amazing.
just says exercise. This guy was running like marathons and lifting and like he was. When I met him, he was just like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't eat carbs. I just run and I clean my house.
Yeah, I have OCD, and so I find that if I pour that into constructive things, it's good. So I was training for triathlons for like 4 hours a day. And I remember my manager at the time was like, do you know that if you put that energy into entertainment, you'd be successful? And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, I need to
Do
stop
you
it.
know you're not going to make the Olympics?
Yeah.
You're old. What are you doing?
Yeah,
You're a comedian.
you're
Stop
washed
it.
up. You're through.
But it was what you knew. So it was like,
It was what I knew, and so yeah. But I was like, I'll show you guys a picture right now. I don't know if it'll be good for podcast purposes, but
Yeah, we'll take it.
This
he
was-
he was ripped. This dude was just really the epitome of health.
yeah, this was me after a triathlon. That's
Jeez, look at this guy.
that's how shredded I was.
damn.
Yeah.
let's see.
That's me at like 187.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. And now I weigh 208. So if you really think about it in the grand scheme of weight, that's not a huge difference
Right.
in weight.
Yeah.
And
Especially when you're 9 feet tall.
yeah, when I'm 9 feet
Yeah.
tall, like I am, like I tend to be. But yeah, I look so much different with weight on me, and I've gotten it a lot lately. For like Tom Segura and I are friends,
Yeah.
comedian Tom Segura. We did a documentary together. We're tight.
What's the name?
I Need You to Kill. It's on Amazon.
There you go. Plug the stuff, man.
It's on Amazon. Go see I Need You to Kill. But yeah, Tom and I are boys. But Tom is one of those guys that he has fans that are, I don't know, they kind of troll people or whatever. But for some reason, it's got online lately that they're like, this guy's trying to be Tom Segura and he's trying to look like Tom Segura. And I'm like, number one, persona-wise, I couldn't be more of a 180 than the point of view of Tom Segura that I love. I love that he's saltier than me. But looks-wise, I'm a guy that has a double chin that's covering it up with a beard, and that's not an original thing. And then I've also just been wearing those like zip up jackets. And I was talking to my girlfriend earlier, and I was like, "No, I'm not trying to dress like him. I'm a guy that wears T-shirts and zip up jackets because I'm cold and fat.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm just cold and fat right now, and that's why I'm wearing that. But I think it's funny that but that's been a byproduct of the weight. Is I guess I used to be probably more of a T-shirt guy, not a jacket over it to cover up my.
Do you
tits.
find any difference in your comedy between being very fit and being full figured?
I think that I'm funnier.
When?
Like now and above, like, and maybe it's because my
Weight wise?
I think weight wise, I'm funnier with weight on me, and I like even with facial hair versus without. I like because I shaved about 5 days ago, and I was clean shaven. And it was hard for me to get likability from the crowd.
Too clean.
Clean. And
Interesting.
I think it's a juxtaposition between like I'm like, oh hey, I'm very nice, and I think when I look like more of a man that
As opposed to right now. 'Cause
yeah, like I guess
you look like Pamela Anderson.
yeah, Pamela Anderson. I can't say her name without Borating it, but. I don't know. I think that it makes the guys in the crowd go like, "Oh, okay, I like him. He's not just a weirdo." But yeah, I don't know. I'm rambling, but
Yeah. Take more of your cheat meal there, buddy.
eat more of this cheat meal.
So yeah, I mean, you were like, because I mean, and we've have we gone on dinner before? Yeah, we have. Yeah,
You're
me and
damn right
Peter,
we have.
yeah, we're steak guys.
We're
Yeah,
steak
we have.
guys. We've tried different restaurants around the city. Remember that one time we went with Dante? We went with Dante to this weird, like foodie
Could be
place.
anywhere after this.
Yeah. I'm fascinated by the story. I don't know. Was I with you?
I just remember Dante showed up and he smelled like pussy.
Describe that to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
As you're eating the food.
Please get specific with the
It
aromas.
was just like I know that Dante like used to hook up a lot, but it was just like he just smelled like sex. And I remember thinking, like, can I eat this meal while I'm smelling Dante's date on him? Like, it wasn't a good aroma. This is probably a pretty clean podcast, and I just ruined it.
Well, I mean,
by saying that. Can we bleep?
Yeah, we
Well,
can do
we'll
it. We
figure
can
it
do
out.
yeah.
Don't worry about it. Me and Pete love going. We've been to steak a few times, but that leads us into our next discussion.
Yeah, the latest news.
The latest news, the controversy. The New York Times has slammed Peter Luger's as a restaurant we don't need to go to anymore. Gave it 0 stars. Now, I've been going to Luger's 20 years. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's weird to say.
Isn't it weird?
I have an opinion on it. I read the full article. I don't know if you guys had a chance to. Brian, I feel like you're our expert here. What's the deal with the steak? What do you think?
Well, the landscape of the New York restaurant industry has changed and transformed and changed again so much in my 16-year career. Mm-hmm. What was popular to what it is today must have changed over like 2 to 3 times as far as what's in. And I feel, especially in today's age, the era of millennials, I guess you can say.
Okay.
I feel like they're just not craving as much old school high-end flair as they used to. Going to a place like Peter Luger's is
I like that you got very Long Island. Going to Peter Luger's. I was at Peter Luger's.
is it's an experience.
Yeah.
And it's not a cheap experience.
No.
And there's so many more restaurants and so much more variety of restaurant experiences and cultural experiences while you're dining at that restaurant. Mm-hmm. It's getting harder for a place like that to stand out. It's
All right. That's, I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying.
That's just how I feel.
You think
about
social media has changed it? Because it's like, but back in the day, it was like Peter Luger's is where you go. And now it's like, if you see a pastrami sandwich, like now, I'll go eat it after this instead of that. So it's always what's hot today.
Right.
This cheeseburger, this sandwich.
100%. I mean, social media, I think, has changed everything.
Yeah.
For any type of business. I'm sure for even you guys
Sure.
has changed the landscape.
We're doing a food podcast.
Yeah, we're doing.
What was your first clue?
I used to just tell jokes.
but now if you look at social media, it's just like with headlines, they're trying to get you with clickbait. They're trying to do the same thing with food. The most outrageous bowl of bibimbap or the most outrageous sushi or burger. Gold-plated food, such and such. And think that a place like Peter Luger's, where they're serving the cocktail, that same shrimp cocktail for the last 20 years. I don't know.
Longer than
I don't.
that.
Yeah, I know
Much
they've
longer
been.
than that,
I
yeah.
know they've been around for longer than that. There's no appeal in it anymore. And I do remember watching. I do remember watching on like BuzzFeed or Weiss or something like that. They did a special on Peter Luger's, and you know they showcased Peter Luger's, and yes, it's legendary. The steak looked amazing and all that. But I remember watching it and thinking to myself, like, wow, Luger's is getting a little desperate. You know, like they're giving in to the social media, like the need for social media to put themselves back out there, as opposed to, you know, kind of living on legend and living on myth of you know, what they've built all these years. Don't get me wrong, I love Luger's just as much as everyone else, but there's so many options now. Like there are a lot
of options.
There are other steakhouses I want to try.
So I would. So Carl earlier in the podcast had mentioned something called food evolution, and his theory was that like when you eat somewhere, you enjoy it, but then you go out and you experience so many other different things that when you come back to a place you really liked, you may not have liked it as much because your tastes have evolved.
Right.
Now, I'm going to say this guy for the New York Times, he says in his article, he goes, you know, when I first went here, I would only go here once a year and I'd save all my money to go, and it was so amazing. Well, yeah, that was before he was a food critic. Now he's a food critic. The guy hasn't paid for food in 20 years. Now he walks into this joint, and they have the nerve to give him a check. And of course he's going to be like, oh, garbage. I can't believe this. Yeah, but the places he likes, by the way, he didn't suggest any other places. The places he likes, I would guarantee, are more expensive, more exclusive, more of a pain. You know, you're gonna pay like 3 times the price for like a small Wagyu steak, but there's a violin player or something.
Yeah.
Like it's just not, you know. It's not that the steak's bad. It's good steak at Luger's.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I went to Luger's like a year ago, and I still thought it was great. You know, but I haven't had a thought to go back. You know, I'm not knocking Luger's. I'm just saying that I just want to try something else, and that's just the landscape. That's the market right now. You know, Luger's is just not the only steakhouse around, and there are other steakhouses that serve steak just as good as Luger or close to it.
Yeah.
And then they have other things that are making it a lot more fun. You know, what those dishes are, I couldn't name for you, but you know, maybe it's a sushi.
We got you,
sushi
chef.
joint
You like the
steakhouse.
Ponderosa.
Yeah.
We got you.
I haven't been to. I think the last time I was at Luger's, it was during the social media era of MySpace. So I think there's a MySpace picture of me
Jeez.
at Peter Luger's.
Do you still have a MySpace? Do you still use it?
You know what's so funny? I get notifications because I never deleted it. So I get like, Jody followed you on MySpace. And I'm like, that's hilarious. I don't even know my password. I would think that it would have vanished. I don't know. But
Yeah, I thought MySpace, like everyone's MySpace account, vanished already.
Yeah, I thought it was gone.
I don't know. But apparently I'm
Dude, you're like the biggest
crushing
guy
it.
on MySpace.
What if I haven't posted in forever
Yeah, and you're
people have
huge.
I have like one video on there that's racking
Yeah,
up
you're just a monster on there.
gajillions.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're like a Midwest guy, right? Minnesota?
Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Yeah. So, like, what's the food like there?
I mean, they just put a shit ton of butter and salt and sugar and everything. And I mean, everything is a butter salt delivery vehicle. Like in Minneapolis, there's this thing called the Juicy Lucy, where it's a hamburger where there's cheese in the middle, and then when it comes,
Whoa,
to
what do you mean? In the meat?
Yeah.
In the
Yeah, I
meat.
know
Juicy
exactly what
Lucy.
he's talking about.
Yeah, so they and every like Mark Norman was just at Acme last week, and he went to Matt's and had a Juicy Lucy, and it's this cool dive bar that you go there. They serve you the sandwich, and then they tell you like if you bite into the sandwich in the next 10 to 12 minutes, you will die. Like it's so hot. It's molten lava cheese in the middle of it. So you're starving, and you just have to sit there and look at this burger, and then you finally bite into it, and it's the best thing on the planet.
And they always bring it out to you that they don't just keep it in the kitchen. They like specifically, they're like, hey.
Yeah, they could wait. They
Yeah.
could I would think that like they would just stick a food thermometer
And
in their
wait.
meat and wait until it's perfect and then bring it out to you. But no, that's the danger of Minnesota. Welcome to the great snowy north, and you might die from a burger. But that's like Minnesota. In Wisconsin, we're very proud of our cheese curds.
What is a cheese curd? I don't even know.
So when there's like a stir type mechanism when you're making the cheese,
Okay.
and it basically separates the milk into like the the creamiest of the most dense milk.
Okay.
And on top of that, these curds, almost like boulders, form. Like, you know when you're snow plowing, or not when
Okay, I see what you're saying, like leftover parts.
Right. Yeah.
leftover parts, and those are the richest, densest parts of the cheese that are on top of that. And it's so dense that when you bite into it, it actually squeaks. And
Really?
it's the most delicious cheese. And curd is not that doesn't sound like something that makes you want to eat something, but it's the most delicious part of the cheese, and it's like the fattiest part of the cheese as well. And so people in Wisconsin aren't satisfied with how fatty that is. They're like, we need to bread it.
Oh my gosh.
We need to beer batter it and then fry it.
I like these people. I like these people a lot.
And then also season it, and then also dunk it in ranch dressing. So that's like dairy on dairy on dairy.
America.
And it's so, like, Wisconsin is so proud of their cheese curds that I've ordered salads before where instead of croutons, they sprinkle cheese curds on it, like fried cheese curds, to be like, hey, isn't this stylish?
Wow.
And it's, there was this Onion article recently where it said, or I think it was last year, where Aaron Rodgers was injured for like 8 days, and it showed like this big fat picture of Aaron Rodgers, and it says Aaron Rodgers balloons to 378 pounds in his 8 days of inactivity in Wisconsin. Because in Wisconsin, every time I go there, I gain 10 pounds.
And it's cold, right?
It's cold, and you just eat.
Eat
you drink
cheese in the
beer,
cold.
And the people there are fun, and like, I don't know, they're the kind of people the people that I know from Wisconsin that, like, I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go out for a run. They're like, don't you know that's bad for you? Like, what are you doing?
You can slip on the ice.
You could slip on the ice.
How is the cheese there? Because I guess it's big cheese area. How is it compared? What's it big? Is it Murray's cheeses here?
Murray's cheese is,
How's the
one of
Wisconsin cheese compared to Murray's cheeses here?
I bet Murray's cheeses are very good. The thing that jumps out to me about Wisconsin cheeses is that they're just so fresh.
Right.
The cheese moves very fast. You know, like you're getting cheese at its freshest because everybody there consumes it nonstop.
Right.
And it's also coming from a place where it's not like it's made at the Sargento factory and then it goes to another processing place and then it's on a semi and whatever. It's literally going from like the cheese house in Monroe, Wisconsin, to you buy it and then it's on your plate.
Wow.
I mean, Murray's is also, while I do know that they make their own cheese, they're also a retail shop and a curator of cheeses from across the planet. So I'm pretty sure they're definitely getting stuff from Wisconsin. And,
They probably,
yeah.
So Murray's cheese is Wisconsin cheese.
there you go.
So yeah,
We've solved it.
Yeah,
Solved
I don't want to diss Murray's cheese. I feel like they might have a cheese mafia that I'd be offending. And
Did you go on a lot of dates in Minnesota?
Oh yeah,
Worst date experience with food?
worst date experience with food. I forgot what. I wrote something down when I
have it in front of me.
What did I say? 'Cause I'm trying to think of.
Bang. Yeah, here we go. I once ate a bad burger, got E. coli poisoning.
God, yeah.
Ooh, and what'd you do? Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy. Take us through the date because it seems like it was going very well.
Yeah, so I ate a burger that was just not cooked very well.
Not according to Brian.
Yeah.
According to Brian, you're the problem. That burger was fine.
Well, this was like.
Well,
I will stand behind what you said. Like this was a burger that was seared, and then in the middle it was Carpaccio.
Right.
Like it was just it was very rare. And then I just didn't want to look like an idiot on the date,
Right.
and so I finished it. And then like almost immediately after, like in the middle of the day, it was like. Like
Oh,
just
the
my
good,
stomach-
the good sound.
Yeah,
the sound
my
that lets you
stomach
know
was like,
things are working the way they should be.
And I was like, oh boy. And then we definitely piled beers on top of that. I used to be a big beer drinker. Now I like whiskey. I don't know how I used to drink. Like,
This is after the athlete phase?
this is during it. I think that's one of the
Really?
reasons why I was such an over-exerciser is because I would drink like a fish, and then I'd eat with the diet of a truck driver, and then I would exercise like a pro athlete to counteract that. And so anyway, so then I woke up the next morning to the sensation of pooping in the bed, and like my eyes just like shot open, and I don't know if I made a sound. I don't know if like it made a sound. I don't know what.
was this a first date?
I'd been dating her for a little while.
Okay.
This was somebody that, but I remember she didn't have a whole lot of nice things. Like we were in her really crappy.
Not after you were there. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord. To clarify, he pooped the bed.
Yeah, her mom just bought her these like beautiful high thread count pink sheets, and she was like so excited about having something nice because she lived in a really shitty New York apartment, you know. And she literally lived in a walk-in closet, and the bed was the whole room, and then like all around us was hanging stuff. So these sheets were very important to her, and my eyes shot open. And then right at that moment, she like looks me, like her eyes shoot open, like she could just feel that something terrible had happened. And she's like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Nothing." And she was like, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Nothing." I was like, "Just go back to sleep." She's like, "No, what happened?"
Just go back.
And I changed my answer, and I go, "Something happened."
It all happened.
I was like, "Something definitely happened," and then like it boiled down to I was like, "Oh God, I don't know what to do," and I was like, I think I'm sick, and I think I just shit your bed. And she's like, oh, that's fine. It happens all the time.
What?
That's what she said to me. She was just trying to think of anything that she could say.
that doesn't happen all the time.
that
And I was
doesn't
like,
happen all
wait,
the
what?
time.
It went to instant judgment of her. Like, I was like,
This is on you.
yeah, I was like, wait, you shit your bed all the time? And she was like, no, just like, but other people. And I was like, you have people? Men are shitting their pants in your bed? What? And by the way, I was sleeping naked because the date went well, and so and it wasn't a lot. Like it wasn't a lot of it was just like probably like a tablespoonful, but like a tablespoonful is just still a lot when it's like a radioactive liquid.
Yeah, even
you
a
know?
teaspoon is a lot.
It's horrible. And so I tried to slide, like roll and slide out of bed, like keeping it, and then I just like wrapped a towel around me, so then now the towel is compromised. And then she had one of those New York apartments where the toilet was separate from like her shower bathroom. And so I had to go through her roommate's room in just a towel, smelling like shit. And I remember her roommate woke up and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like, and I was like, "Nothing, it's cool." And then I proceeded to get the worst sick, just like Dumb and Dumber, like that like, and but not out of my mouth. And then it was like. It was one of those things where when I opened the door into Tara's room, she goes, "Oh God, oh my God, oh." And then I go back to the the bedroom, and she was like cleaning it up, and I was like, "Don't touch it, don't clean it, like just let me." And I immediately bundled up her sheets, and then I took it to the laundromat and like sat there and
Poor people.
and did laundry. And then while I'm doing laundry, I'm still sick, so I kept having to go to the bar down the street and be like, "Hey, can I get a soda water?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I got to use the restroom." And then I got back to her place, and I thought I thought we were gonna be done. Like I thought that was like
She's more in love.
Yeah, I think that thing.
No one shit on me like that before.
Yeah, that thing that they say where like if you ask somebody for help, then you'll be better friends with them because they've done something.
You're in
for
it
you.
together, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like that worked, and yeah,
I've been
So
going
you were
about this
planning this
all
whole
wrong. All wrong.
Yeah.
All wrong. Taco Bell every date now. Just every date.
every date.
I'm gonna be licking raw chicken and rancid beef and being like, this is the one.
You're gonna be eating 161 degree chicken.
So in the case of burgers and E. coli comes from the large intestine. The large intestine's basically your colon, your anus, right? And the reason why ground beef will get contaminated with E. coli is during the butchery process. They weren't very clean with the butchery process, and basically the meat got tainted. And when they grind it, it gets grinded into the whole mixture. So from very reliable food sources, you can cook hamburger meat to medium rare, no problem. But generally, if you go somewhere with cheap ground beef, or if you go to somewhere like fast food where they have the cheapest ground beef ever, you will notice they never take a temperature. You will notice the meat is completely nuked and cooked to death because there's it's more than likely that meat will have some kind of foodborne illness. But if you cook it well done,
It's okay.
It's fine. It's totally fine.
All right. Well, that leads us to our next segment called DTF. Brian, it's time for you to defend trash food. Pick a fast food joint you like and defend it. You're the chef, buddy.
Put me on the spot like that.
Yes, sir.
Defend trash
All right.
food.
You know what? I'm going to.
DTF.
All right. I'm going to put Taco Bell out there. I'm going to put Taco Bell out there.
Taco Bell.
And listen.
The cantina? The Taco Bell cantina?
No, it's just straight up good old Taco Bell. I think they're all combined with like KFC now or something, or Nathan's. I don't even know anymore. But there's a Taco Bell right across the street from where I live, and I wanted a quick bite. I went to eat it. I got a burrito supreme, had sour cream in that sucker.
Oh, that's delicious.
And you know what? It's good. I liked it.
God.
And I didn't shit my brains out. And you know what? Listen, I don't knock on anybody for liking fast food, and I will have my occasional fast food, though I won't talk about it with my
Doritos
culinary
Locos
peers.
Taco. Thank you.
Chalupas,
Thank you.
chalupas.
Delicious.
I'll rock one every now and then.
Delicious.
You know, one out of every 4 times I get insanely sick, but same thing with Chinese food. So.
From Chinese food?
Yeah.
Really? I don't get sick
Yeah.
from Chinese food.
Ever?
I haven't, no.
No?
No.
I think for me it's like 1 out of every 12 times.
Really?
Yeah. But the thing is,
What
like,
kind of sick?
like diarrhea. or
Oh,
some
come
shit
on.
like
That's just
that. That's just
just
par for the
that's
course.
just Wednesday. What are you talking about?
I would have laughed if it was mental illness. I just feel a little down after I eat a Chinese meal.
Well, yeah. I mean, after the Chinese meal we had, wow, that was fantastic.
Yeah, no, that
one
was
for the books.
fantastic. I mean,
So let's do some plugs here and wrap it up, guys. Brian, please let them know where they can find you. Brian's in a band also. Plug that, dude.
yes, well, the band is going to be First, I'm Chef Brian Tsao, # not your typical chef. You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, @ Chef Brian Tsao. Brian spelled with an I, Tsao spelled Tsao. I also have a band called Yokai Han. We are due to have our first performance in December to be determined. I do play electric guitar. Let me plug Sully Guitars. Let me plug fu-tone.com, DiMarzio Pickups, EVH Gear. Thank you very much for taking care of me. And that's it. That's me. Thank you.
Now, Pete, you're going to be appearing your 5th time coming up?
Fifth time on the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. I'm doing that on Halloween. I don't know when this comes out, but...
Well, yeah, it will be online at least.
Yeah,
and,
go on YouTube and
yeah.
search for it. You can also watch the other 4 appearances. If you want, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Peatly. I couldn't get Peatly, so I just did it 3 times.
my
I mean,
Instagram-
it's smart though.
My Instagram is shit the bed.
You're not gonna forget it.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter if you want, at Peatly Tweets. I'm also on your mom. Boom. Come on, why isn't there a social media called your mom?
It probably is.
Have you been on your mom?
I'm sure there is.
What do you got, Lance? Are you done, Pete? Or you got more?
I think so. You can go to, I have tour dates on peatly.net.
Why is that .net?
Because this jerk took peatly.com a long time ago, and then we got into a pissing match with one another because I was like, dude, let me give you like $1,000 just so I can have
Sure.
this. He was this research scientist from the UK, and he wouldn't give it to me. Well, his email address happened to be very close to mine with the .com, and then women back in like the day, this was like before social media or before Snapchat. They would just see my show and then want to send me like a tit pic or like a weird thing, and then they would accidentally send it to his .com address.
So he was loving the email.
So he reached out to me because his wife saw his email with all these women doing these things. And then I went on a radio show in Nebraska and talked about it. And talked because I just not gotten along with this guy forever. And so all of their fans sent
it's so funny.
Men, women sending
great.
crazy pics to this guy. And he got so mad at me that he at one point he allowed this comedian named Pete Lee down in Miami to just have my website and then and to have peatly.com and then put his clips up on it.
Oh, wow.
And I still haven't been able to get peatly.com. It's so I don't know how old this guy is. Maybe at some point he's gonna just lose interest or like go into an old folks home and not have access to his web hosting. But I don't know. I would love Peatly.com. But
I don't think it really matters. I mean, you got, your fifth Tonight Show? I have a LanceWeiss.com and 0 Tonight Shows. Yeah. It hasn't seemed to be...
What do you got, Lance?
I'm just at Party with Lance everywhere. So if you're trying to keep the party going...
Party with Lance.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Website for me is rrcomedy.com. You can also see me and Lance at the Comedy Cellar every Sunday, 8:30 and 10:30. And the Instagram is rrcomedy. And we are always, we're here today at La Cubana on...
15th and 9th.
That's right, in the Meatpacking District. This is the home of also one of the founders of our show, the Cheat Day Show, Carl Weiss. And we're keeping it going for him. So that's it, guys. Happy cheating and indulge.
Thanks for listening to the Cheat Day Show podcast. To learn more about our show, the hosts, the comedians, our guests, our chefs, and more, visit our website, thecheatdayshow.com. Also, follow along with us on our social media at The Cheat Day Show on Instagram and Twitter. Future episodes can be found in all the places you get your favorite podcast. Our show is also sponsored by the world-famous Comedy Cellar on McDougal Street in New York City's Greenwich Village. Visit ComedyCellar.com for show lineups happening 7 days a week. Later, cheaters.